How is it that some characters leave such a lasting impression to the point of remaining etched in our minds for years? Goku, Erwin Smith, Kanki, Johann Liebert, they don't share the same personality, the same role, or the same values. Some are admired, others hated, and some even deeply unsettle us. And yet, they all have one thing in common: they are impossible to forget. And it's important to make the distinction. We're not talking about liked characters here. A character can be liked without being memorable. Here, we're talking about memorable characters, those who leave a mark, whether we like it or not. So inevitably, a question arises: what creates this impact? Why do some characters stick in our minds, whilst others, however well written, fade completely from memory? And in reality, it's no coincidence. These characters are built on very specific foundations. In this video, we'll look at the 4 pillars that make a character memorable. And if you're a writer, understanding these pillars can completely change the way you write your characters. These characters all have something special about them. Even before you understand their story, even before you see what they're going to do, you already feel something when you see them. Some are immediately inspiring, others exude a sense of melancholy, some make you feel uncomfortable, whilst others provoke anger or empathy. And that is precisely what makes the difference. A successful character isn't just about their personality, but the energy they give off. It's this energy that creates a clear emotion in the reader, and that emotion must be recognizable. If your character doesn't evoke anything specific, they become vague, and a vague character leaves no impression. This energy doesn't come out of nowhere. It stems from several elements: their personality, of course, but also their past, and the way they behave in situations. And even though their actions will reinforce this energy, there is one important thing to understand: personality plays a much more central role than we might think. This is in fact where many works fall short, particularly in lesser-known manga. The writing may be good, the events well constructed, the characters consistent, but nothing really leaves a lasting impression. Why? Because the energy they project is too weak or too vague. The character exists, but they don't have enough presence to be memorable, at least not to all readers. And in some cases, that energy is so strong that it's almost enough on its own. And the JoJo manga illustrates this very well. Characters like Dio Brando, Jiro Zeppeli, Yoshikage Kira, each of them touched readers even before they performed any significant acts. Just a quick reminder: if you're interested in creating or developing original manga, or if you'd like me to do a brief analysis of your manga in a short format, check out CollabManga. Be sure to watch until the end of the video for more details. A character does not become memorable simply because they possess a strong presence. At some point, that presence must be reflected in the narrative, and this is achieved through their actions. But be careful, it is not enough for a character simply to act. What really matters is the impact their actions have on those around them. A powerful action is one that leaves a lasting impression. This mark can take many forms. It can disrupt the development of another character, forcing them to change, to suffer, to grow, to question their view of the world, but it can also directly affect the world of the story, altering a situation, upsetting a balance, creating a crisis, ushering in a new era. In both cases, the idea is the same. After their action, nothing is quite the same as before. This is precisely why a memorable character is often associated with memorable events. When we remember them, we don't just think of their personality, but of what they brought about. We recall a choice, a gesture, a betrayal, a sacrifice, a destruction, a decisive word. It is these events that enter the reader's memory, and the character along with them. But for this to work, their actions must carry weight. They must be capable of impressing, shocking, or deeply moving the reader, or at the very least, bringing about a real turning point. If a character is very active, but their actions never have a significant impact, they remain active without becoming memorable. Action alone is not enough. What leaves a lasting impression is a character's ability to trigger an event that feels significant. And this is where this pillar becomes essential for a writer. When you write a character, ask yourself not only what they will do, but above all, what their actions will change. Which character will be transformed by them? Which aspect of the world will be altered? Which scene, which event, which turning point will remain associated with their name? This is often where a character's legacy is born. Some characters make an impression even before they do anything. As soon as they appear, there is a sense of tension, anticipation, and sometimes even anxiety. And this feeling doesn't stem solely from their personality or their past actions. It comes from their status within the story, from what they represent in the eyes of the world. A memorable character almost always possesses a defining trait that clearly sets them apart. They may be the strongest, the smartest, the most dangerous, the most unpredictable. It doesn't matter which, as long as it is identifiable. It is this position that makes them immediately special. This status creates something very important: anticipation. The reader doesn't just wait to see what the character will do, they expect them to do something specific. If they are the strongest, we expect a display of strength. If they are the most dangerous, we fear their actions. If they are the smartest, we expect them to gain the upper hand. And it is precisely this anticipation that creates tension, even when the action isn't happening. The character doesn't need to be constantly present to exist. Their very presence is enough to maintain narrative tension. We think about them, we anticipate their next move, we fear or hope for what they will bring about. So, if you're a writer, the question isn't just who is your character, but rather, what does he represent in your world? Because it's often this position that will define the impact he'll have, even before he acts. Some characters leave a mark that extends far beyond their role. We remember not only what they did, but what they stood for, an idea, a worldview, or a broader emotion. And that is often what makes them truly unforgettable. A successful character is not merely a presence within a story, they embody something. It might be a value such as freedom or justice, an idea such as determinism or free will, or even a critique such as corruption or injustice. The form doesn't matter, as long as the message is clear. That is what gives the character depth, because once they represent something, every one of their actions takes on a broader meaning. Ultimately, a memorable character does not rely on a single element. It is not solely their personality, nor solely their actions, nor solely their status or their message that makes the difference. It is the combination of all four, and above all, the way in which they reinforce one another. A clear energy creates an immediate emotional impact. Strong actions leave a mark on the narrative, and those actions convey a powerful message. And an imposing status creates anticipation and tension, sometimes even before the character acts. It is this accumulation that transforms a character into a genuine presence within the story. And if you are a writer, this is where it all comes down to. You must not merely create an interesting character. You must create a character who exudes something, who sets events in motion, and who occupies a prominent place in your world. That is when they truly begin to exist. Because a memorable character is not defined simply by who they are. They are defined by what they make us feel, what they provoke, and what they represent. To delve deeper into CollabManga. As explained earlier, it helps boost the visibility of various manga projects through several tools made available on the platform. The first of these is a sponsorship system built into the site. Any content creator can sign up on the site and list their various sponsorship options. Meanwhile, as authors, you can benefit from the visibility provided by the content creator to promote your work. The second tool is the various social media accounts linked to CollabManga, where chapters will be posted along with some quick analysis videos. I myself will be able to promote them on this channel, etc. And finally, there's the mobile app, currently under development. It will be a mobile version of the site, but directly accessible via the various app stores. As a result, thanks to the various notifications and the fact that the site is in app form, you'll benefit once again from greater visibility. And of course, CollabManga features a full catalog, a messaging system, and a suggestions page to help you out if you're stuck for ideas. Obviously, all of this is only possible if my site manages to attract a large number of users, whether they're authors, screenwriters, content creators, or just readers. But that's why I'm telling you about it here. So if you know anyone, or are yourself, who wants to create their own manga or has already created some, please feel free to direct them to CollabManga